Hi guys, welcome to another episode of 14kph. Today we will discuss a common problem for a lot of entrepreneurs, which is something to do with moving from being a freelancer to an entrepreneur or a business owner. And this is the shift of leadership. So most people have been working by themselves for a long time, and that's how it usually goes. First, you have you're employed regularly, and then you realize that you want to own your time and you want to have the freedom to make more money and to just be able to turn on that tap of variable income. So you decide to learn some skills, mostly online skills, so you can become a freelancer. And then you become a freelancer, and then now you have your own time, and now you can make as much money as you can, which is directly linked to how much you work, or maybe a little bit of how smart you work. And then, of course, a little bit of how strong your brand is, how good you are with positioning, and all those, and even pricing strategies. So a lot of things can really contribute to your bottom line. And those are the things that we will talk about in the coming days. But for now, I will discuss to you a very important move in by being a business owner and moving from being a freelancer and working by yourself and moving to a leadership role, which is you having people to help you with your goals, having people to receive more work coming in, to serve more people, and to be able to achieve way more. And then you can build your own business. And that's what a lot of us really dream about. You know, most people talk about building an empire, but really you cannot build an empire if you are not a good leader. So if you are just starting out, if it's your first time to hire, I have 4 very important tips for you. Number 1, and very important, you have to hire a second in command, meaning you should hire an operations manager or a vice president, or even just a simple project manager who can handle things for you when you're away. Someone that you really trust, someone that you think is a self-starter, has initiative, and someone who is also willing to be an apprentice for you. Now, you don't have to worry if this person will eventually do what you're doing, because that's how a lot of self-starters and initiators really move. You know, they try to work for someone who can who they eventually decide to model and follow the footsteps of. So you don't have to worry about that. You just have to have a contract in place, and you just have to agree on a few specific things. And then the things that you need to check out are, of course, very important: past results, references, and most of all, work ethic. So you can ask a few questions that will really flesh out what kind of work ethic they have, what kind of relationship they had with their past clients or with their past bosses, if you know they're also moving from being an employee. And then this second in command can start duplicating you, can start duplicating the things you do, and can also be able to move the needle even when you're away. Because I believe that if you're taking a leadership role, your tasks will also change, and you might outsource some of the work to other freelancers or other service providers, and you have to have someone who can also still do the management role for you, and that is your second in command. So in one of my businesses, Proximity Placements, we specialize in selecting, qualifying, and interviewing a perfect virtual assistant, or a really good and ideal second in command for you if you're an online freelancer, or if you're moving from being a consultant and you don't know where to start. And especially if you're, you know, maybe if you're already earning dollars, or you're located in mostly Western countries, we can find an affordable virtual assistant in the Philippines for you. And this can be a very good step 1 for you when you're trying to hire a second in command. But if you feel like you can do it yourself, you already have someone in mind, then you can definitely go that route as well. And that's very ideal also, because now you actually trust the person fully, and you know that person or someone has referred that person to you directly. So most of our clients in Proximity Placements, it's their, I think 60% of them, it's their first time to hire a second in command. Some people hire a graphic designer because they have so many graphic stuff to do. They handle social media accounts. Some people hire a project manager because they have so many launches coming in, not just for their clients but also for themselves, because now they're doing something else themselves, and they're doing a higher level of consultancy. So it's also very useful for them. But all of them really reached out to me and said that it really changed their lives. So this kind of change can be possible for you as well, if you're able to hire a very good second in command. I really hope that you're able to do that right away. So, because that's one of the first things that you need to do for you to be able to scale. Number 2 tip is that when you hire your second in command, or when you hire other team members, you have to trust them and you have to constantly empower them. Tell them that they have your full trust and confidence, and that you trust them to do their jobs well. You empower them to make decisions based on a particular coverage, so that you don't have to waste time micromanaging everything. Because if you micromanage them, it's a bit insulting. As soon as you hire them, you already did your vetting, and you already have some agreements in place and a job description in place, and you shouldn't be the one doing the micromanagement. In fact, what you should be doing is spending time in improving your business, and that's something that I'll also talk about later. But what I'm saying for this tip is that you have to trust them, empower them, and let them know that you do. Because when you let them feel that way, you get to boost their morale, which leads to better work productivity, and which leads to a motivation for them to continue working with the work ethic that you expect of them. So that's number 2, trust them and empower them. And number 3 is you have to develop a seamless system for communications and operations. So you have to have, like steps on launching a product, or steps in doing a particular set of tasks. It has to be clear and has to be agreed with you and your team, so that everything is all set. And aside from that, you have to have a system for communications as well. Sometimes a single Facebook group, which is updated with all of the tasks and everything, can make a lot of difference for your business. And even project management apps or softwares like Trello, or things like that. So, and even with payments, you can also it's also advisable to set up a very good system for payments, like particular payments with Stripe, PayPal, Payoneer, and other similar options. So number 3 has a lot to do with systems, because it doesn't matter if you have the right people in place. If you don't have the right system in place, it will be everything will be more like distracting, and tasks will just be thrown around here and there, and that's not good for your business, because you need to work on a straight line, and you need to be able to achieve way more than you were able to achieve when you were only working alone. So systems, that's your best friend. And then lastly, this is very important, and that's why I really wanted to say this last. When you're moving from being a freelancer or a singular worker to being a leader or a business owner, don't scam yourself into thinking that you're hiring these people and you're moving to a leadership direction just so you can have more free time, or you can like travel the world. That's nice, but ultimately the business step that is best for you is to constantly study your business, befriend your books, look at your results, look at your income, look at your upsells, look at all your marketing channels, look at all the channels that the money is coming in. You gotta kill what needs to be killed. Study your business and continue investing in self-development. So I know this is your first time to take on a leadership position, and especially if you're not the eldest in your family, that's quite challenging, And if you haven't done any leadership position in your life, you've never been like president of a club, or class president, or varsity captain, or the lead supervisor of a team in a company, then it's gonna be a little bit challenging for you. But investing in self-development, specifically in topics of management, leadership, and business development, will be really, really good for you, and will be the most reasonable business step for you to take as soon as you take on a leadership role. So, okay, don't forget those. Hire a second in command. You trust them and empower them. Develop systems that will help you do your work better and do your teammates work better. And lastly, study your business well and invest in self-development. So if you have other questions, or if there's anything that's bugging your mind, you can also ask me questions in the comments. Don't private message me because my inbox is blowing up every day, especially now that they launched the inbox ad, Facebook Messenger ads, right? So I'll be glad to help you out with your leadership and business leadership problems. I've had businesses for 10 years, but I haven't moved to the leadership position, I think, until after the 4th year. I've been working singularly for a long time and thought that I was happy with it, but I always wanted something more. And I know you do too. So that's why I created this video for you. Anyway, so see you later and have fun with your day. Bye.